Train hard, recover faster, and bring on the gains with Recovery Systems. And your host, Coach Mike on the mic.
Coach Mike on the mic, and this is an episode of For the Love of Exercise. This time we've changed locations. We're in Christchurch, New Zealand with Flavio Vianna. Hello, Flavio.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
You're very welcome.
Pretty excited.
Flavio, for those that don't know Flavio, he's one of our athlete ambassadors for Recovery Systems, and he's recently podiumed at the Exterior World Champs in Kona. So congratulations on that. That is pretty darn amazing.
Thank you. Just one little correct, no Kona, Maui.
Oh, Maui, I'm sorry.
Maui.
All right, close.
Got it.
Yeah, there's another race that happens in Kona, but we won't talk about that.
One day I'll be there.
Yeah. So two aspects about that race that I think are really notable. One is you're 39.
In 10 days.
In 10 days.
Yep.
So in the world of athletic achievement, you're not the youngest athlete out there.
Yep.
So what is truly remarkable about that, and I want to touch on this a little later, is how you've got to a point of improving and maintaining and improving as you've gotten older, which is really good. I'd like to touch on that in a minute. And the second thing is Christchurch, for those who don't know, the environment here is a lot cooler than Maui, and Flavio had to implement some pretty interesting training techniques, including locking himself away in a room with all the heaters on in order to simulate Hawaii conditions. I'd like you to start telling us about that and your power bill.
The power bill was something extra. It wasn't about my heating conditions.
But you knew you needed to heat condition yourself, right?
Yeah. Actually, I always thought in my advantage was the heat, because coming from Brazil is something that I always actually deal with quite well.
Yep.
I was struggling in the cold conditions. If I look historic on the best results I have had on my career, it's all involved heat.
Yes.
And all the bad ones is involved cold.
Cold, yeah.
And I was actually very confident for the heat in Maui. Before 2 months before the race, when I was racing China, for the first time in my life, the heat beat me.
Right.
I don't know if I just underestimated. Then I was too confident about I can deal with the heat, and I had a heat stroke.
Yeah.
That was 2 months before Maui.
Yeah.
And that's dropped my confidence.
Yeah. Sometimes you've got to have a bad race in order to have a good one. And so I can identify with the China experience. I raced 10 years ago in Hainan Island in 45 degrees and had a bad day.
Yep.
So you touched on a really important point, is you're a hot racer.
Definitely.
So not everyone's a hot racer, some people are cold racers, and this
Correct.
is to do with a multitude of things: body type, the way your body's air conditioning system works, and so on. So I think that's a really important aspect for all endurance athletes to realize that you're probably going to be one or the other, and maybe not to try and overreach into the other zone too often, which would be blessed relief for you, because who likes racing in 4 degrees?
I don't know. Some people would say yes, I love it.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Not for me. It's too many clothes involved for keep me warm.
Absolutely. Alrighty. So we mentioned your special techniques. Now, normally when we've seen people come and race in Asia from cooler climates, and I'm thinking of an example of somebody coming from Melbourne a while back and coming into Indonesia to race in a 70.3 on an Ironman race, and experiencing the heat and humidity that they weren't used to. Now, Melbourne in the summer gets really hot, but they're never at 90+% humidity. And we saw a bunch of folks who had travelled who thought they'd heat conditioned, but they really were in for a big surprise. And that's not an easy thing to do, particularly coming from a cooler climate like New Zealand.
Not just cooler, but I left here almost kind of in the middle of the winter.
Yes.
And I decided, because to don't have much time over there before the race, because I don't like to waiting for too long before race.
Yep.
That means I travel just pretty much 36 hours before the race.
Yep.
And I left New Zealand 4 degrees, exactly 4 degrees.
Yep.
And I arrived there in 20 hours, probably around the 36. And it was a big shock.
It is a big shock. It's no matter how many times you do it, that's a hard one to get used to. Now, most of your racing is adventure racing, or Xterra. Can you describe some of the races that you have done in the past? And let's track back a little bit, and let's then go on to talk about what you're going to do next, like the Pioneer that's coming up.
Right. I would say my background, I could go further back than I was a soccer player.
Yep.
As a Brazilian,
well,
you kind of...
I'm from New Zealand, I played rugby at some stage.
Exactly. But it was pressure from family, because my dad was a professional player, and kind of I need to get the generation carry on.
Yes, fair enough.
But somewhere on the track, I decided to be a runner.
Yep.
And I started doing a lot of mountain running and ultramarathon runners. And I discovered that I had quite a good ability for running.
Yeah. But not just for running 5 kilometers.
No, I think I always go hard or go home.
Yeah.
I go further. What's the biggest challenge? I like to take that one.
Yeah.
Because at least I will prove to myself I'm capable to do something a little bit better than what the normal one could be.
So what was your entry point into endurance racing, like Xterra and so on? What key races pop out in your memory as, I want to be doing this going forward?
Yeah, from back home, my hometown, it's a hilly place.
Yeah.
I couldn't say it's mountains, but it's a lot of up and down hilly areas. And mountain bike was always my passion.
Yeah.
Since as a child, I love mountain biking with friends and stuff. And I don't know, I just, as soon as when they started doing Xterra, probably back home 25 years ago,
yep.
I already started doing duathlons.
Yes.
Because the swimming is always a part of it. For 2 reasons. One, we don't have many lakes,
yep.
then we are allowed to swim, because the water is not good quality.
Right.
And I knew mountain bike I could do it,
yep.
and I could run. And I was doing quite well. And I realized, okay, maybe I supposed to be doing this.
All right. Let's fast forward a little bit. You're in Christchurch. You're here as a tourist.
Yeah.
And that horrible event happened, 2011, the earthquake. And now you're kind of stuck here.
I'm glad. I know that you can't. Earthquake, it was a bad thing for
Terrible
a lot
thing.
of people.
Absolutely.
I'm not celebrating anything.
No.
But definitely helped me out to be where I am now.
Right.
It's part of my journey.
Yeah.
It's definitely working on my favor to be here today.
Right.
I don't think if it didn't happen, I wouldn't be here.
Exactly. So what was a terrible event turned out to be a change of direction for you. So
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. And that led you into also the fitness industry, right? Did that happen straight away?
Not straight away, because my English was really poor. I couldn't actually speak English properly, and I was already a trainer from back home with 13 years, 12 years of experience.
Right.
But I couldn't speak English.
Right.
That means the only job I could get at that stage to keep here and stay here and survive was cutting tomatoes and put on pies.
Right.
That was my first job.
Okay.
Until get my English better and
right.
go further.
All right. And moving forward now you're working your personal training. Is there a gym that you're attached to?
Yeah, at the moment I'm attached with Les Mills.
Yes.
I'm a contractor over there.
Yep.
I just actually working with my clients and using Les Mills as the facility to
right.
providing the service.
Okay, now how do you carve out? Endurance sports are very time hungry.
Correct.
You've got other things in your life like family. You've got a 3-year-old, Raphael.
Correct.
You've got your other side of your professional career, fitness training, and you've got your own training and recovery.
Right.
That's the reason why we did recovery systems, by the way, because we realized lots of people were doing some or all of those things and needed to somehow balance the books and come out the other end still as a functioning human being, hopefully improving athletically and also contributing to jobs and family and so on. But how do you're kind of at another level of that scale. How do you balance all the books in that equation?
I think you already say it's a balance. I like to always find a reason and find a solution to do things and setting priorities. I don't think when people say, I don't have time, no, we all have 24 hours in the day.
Yep.
You just need to decide what to do with that 24 hours.
Yeah.
If I have to spend overnight training to succeed in a race or something, for sure I'll be overnight sitting in the garage, whatever, I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
It's a balance.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
The training, the recovery, they spend time with the family.
Yeah.
Some people would say, you can be a bit selfish, but I think it's part of the be balance as well.
Yeah.
If you don't look after yourself.
Yeah. Other people would say that's being disciplined rather than
Correct.
selfish. So, and it makes you who and what you are as well. I mean, you don't get to be on the podium at a World Champs by being fairly haphazard about your training and your recovery.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
And I'm happy as then my family kind of
supporting you.
Supporting, yeah.
Yeah.
They recognize that I spend a lot of time on the bike and running or training people to get these dreams and to make it happen. And I'm pretty well supported.
Now, of the athletes that you're coaching or you're helping, how many of them are training for fitness, and how many of them do you have many that are training for exterior?
They always start pretty simple, like, oh no, I just want to get fit.
Right.
But after a while, they get the bug of what else? What's more? I think it's part of I just want to be an example or inspiring them to look, you can be much better than you just a simple get fit.
Yeah.
And at the moment, it's really nice to see there is many of them getting really good, and I'm really excited. There is a very bright future.
All right. Can you name some of them?
Yes.
Without excluding anyone?
It's harder to be naming because I feel like I could be taking one out of this. I prefer to give names.
We should say if you're not named right now, it's not an exclusion. It's just you may have been an oversight, but just some of the folks that you like to give a shout out to.
I'm gonna say the names, the ones that I've been training for longer, and and coincidence or not, are the ones who are the best ones in terms of fitness.
Right.
Claire Bell is one of the gems that we have in the group. Then she's doing so well, having a few bumps doing a few injuries, a few bad lucks on races.
She just won a race recently, didn't she?
She just won a race in Dunedin, her first race after the injury.
Yeah.
Last year, this year, she was ready to pretty much get top 3 on coast to coast. That was an incredible. And unfortunately, she had a kayak failure. Her kayak broke the rudder.
Oh dear.
On the river, and there's nothing she can do about it.
No way back.
Just unlucky.
Well, welcome back, Claire. Anybody else?
I would say Hannah Buchanan's doing really well. I'm pretty happy with the performance. Sarah Gilbert, those two are racing Pioneer together as well.
Okay.
I can't wait to see how they're doing.
Yep.
Tessa Decker is a pretty strong athlete as well, and on the way to get to this level. Luke Carroll.
Yeah.
And I gave him a good guidance on the Abel Tasman Coastal Challenge. Instead of racing for myself, I decided to race to guiding him to say, look, you can go much further, and he did really well. I was pretty impressive with this.
Oh, it's wonderful.
And it was pretty, inspiring for me to see him in that level too.
Very good. Well, well done, because that often spurs on a coach as well to see their athletes doing so well. And also I would say, because I've done it in the past, being a coach and an athlete at the same time is not easy. So hats off to you for that.
Yeah, like you say, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Because each person is one person.
Absolutely.
And
it's quite a demand.
You have to understand individually,
yeah,
and deliver the best guidance.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't have a script, doesn't have a rule.
There's no cookie cutter. Yeah.
No.
Next race for you coming up is Pioneer.
Yeah.
So just talk us through quickly what Pioneer is, and it's a partner race, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Pioneer is a mountain bike race down south in around Queenstown, Central Otago.
Okay.
It's 6 days of mountain biking, involving around 15,000 meters elevation climb.
Right.
And 490 kilometers of mountain biking.
Over 6 days. That's
over 6 days.
Yeah.
But in a very steep and hard terrain.
Right.
And don't talk about the weather.
Oh, it could be anything.
It's a question mark.
It could be anything.
Anything. Could be snowing and could be at 36 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to Central Otago. Early, late or spring, early summer. Yeah. All right. Let's do. So the thing that I've noticed of one of the keys to your success, because I see it in many athletes that have been successful, is one, the ability to juggle many things and to prioritize, as you mentioned. Secondly is the ability to nail your recovery. Nail meaning just absolutely maximize your recovery, because we all know that training makes you worse and recovery makes you better. I'd like to talk a little bit about how you use our product, and also the other things you do as well from a recovery point of view. And just as a prelude into this, I've seen pictures of you using our product on airplanes, yep, on any leaning up against a wall somewhere in between stages of a race, and a lot of other different scenarios. So I think, personally, I think one of the keys to your success at your age, and you're not old but you're not young either, is your ability to just be very detailed about every aspect of your training and your recovery. So can you talk us through how you use our product, what sort of game changer, if it's been a game changer, how and how that has been?
I think it came with the time in terms of the age show you. I heard this in the past from my parents and things. I get too tired, I don't recover well, and I never believed, because I used to have so much energy, then I never believed someone could get tired.
Yeah.
And with the time, with the age, I realized, like, if I don't making my recovery priority, I'm never going to be able to be training hard again, because I'm always tired.
Right.
It takes longer to recover with the age. Not necessarily I got any slower or I get any less fitter. I think I'm faster and fitter now, but the recovery is longer.
Yeah.
And that's why I found then the recovery system came in a gloves for me, because I can train hard with a good quality, but my recovery has a very high quality as well.
So tell me, how many minutes, just for the folks that haven't had a chance to use the recovery systems yet, how many minutes would you typically be doing? Is it once a week? Is it every day? Just how would you apply it?
I try at least 4 times a week, but definitely after every hard training.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
I always do it.
And how long? How many minutes?
I have a feeling then I do 30 and then I push the 10 and do another 10 minutes to do 40 total.
Right.
For some reason, my legs start to getting numb after that. It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
I think I recognize that's my time, and I had a good time on the recovery system.
All right. So the other thing I'm hearing in that is you have got very good body awareness. And very good body awareness is also one of the key things that I've observed in good athletes who need to employ pace judgment. You've got a 6-day race coming up. You don't want to burn all your matches on the first day. So another very good characteristic that I see as being part of your success. So recovery is a great aspect. I've also seen you do doing some super smoothies. So tell us about that. And also I want to mention you've got a really key sponsor in New World, St. Martin's. Yeah. So I'd like to mention them and anything you might want to say about New World and any other sponsor you may have.
All right, those two, yeah, they are linked because the acai, what I liked for my recovery, so as a part of my nutrition, it's pretty much from home. It's as a Brazilian, I think we all love acai and we know the benefits of the super berries, the fruit. It's one of the best antioxidants in the world. In the amount that you're doing. In New World, then has been my sponsor for the last 6 years. I just have no words to say thanks to them. They are incredible to me. I don't think any of those races with the recovery system and every single person behind, that's why every race is not just me finishing, getting the results. Behind there is a lot of people to make it happen as well.
Right. So I'd like to also thank you for being a great ambassador for us. You're very constant in telling us what you're doing, in thanking us for helping you in what you're doing. And the third aspect of that is you've been successful. The first two things are just as important to us, the visibility and you telling a story about what you're doing with us. So I would like anyone else out there that wants to be an ambassador for a product, just have a look at what Flavio is doing for his sponsors. I think that's really good. So I'd like to thank you for spending some time with us.
That's
the first
pleasure.
of hopefully many catch-ups over time with you. And also we want to congratulate you on a great year and wish you all the best for Pioneer. And also I'm sure you're in 2020 planning, so we wish you all the best through to 2020 as well.
Watch out.
All right,
I will
thanks,
be there.
mate.
Thank you
Cheers.
very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
So Coach Mike on the mic signing off for the Love of Exercise with Flavio.